In News Express, federal government floods major cities with policemen ahead of 1 million man march. Tinubu says we will bring back Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso to ECOWAS. In business, federal government inaugurates $500 million power transmission project for Lagos-Ogun Industrial Corridor. On the foreign scene, rescuers carry on recovery efforts in Brazil. In sport, Team Nigeria's men disqualified from Olympics 4x400 meters relay. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365. The All Progressive Congress APC in Kano State has expressed concerns by the alleged incidents of diversion of palliatives by officials of the ruling New Nigerian People's Party, NNPP. The party therefore called for an independent investigation and prosecution of the culprits. A statement issued by the state party chairman Abdullahi Abbas said government failure to take necessary action against its officials found to be involved in the diversion of palliatives may be interpreted as acts being perpetrated with its tactic support. The chairman further warned that if Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf did not take any action, the APC will be forced to take legal action. The Esu Nupe, His Royal Highness Dr. Yahya Abubakar, says the role of traditional institution is crucial to the development and stability of Nigeria. Dr. Abubakar stated this in an exclusive interview with Global Television.
The colonialists, when they came, they didn't interfere. They didn't push it aside. They carried it along. Why? Because they see the binding force between the people and the kingship and the institution. The people in general and the kingship or the institution, they see a binding force of peace, security, and progress and development. So they go along with it.
Called on legislators midwifing their ongoing constitutional amendment to, as a matter of public interest, ensure that clear court rules for traditional rulers are provided for in the amended body of law. The full-length interview with the Esu Nupe will be broadcast on all global TV platforms later. Hundreds of policemen and security operatives have been deployed in major cities across the country as organizers of the #EndBadGovernance protest prepare for a 1 million man march today. The protest, scheduled to last for 10 days and expected to climax today, has been marred by killings and attacks on protesters and journalists. The nationwide protesters are demanding a reversal of the fuel subsidy removal, an increase in minimum wage to 250,000 naira, and an end to bad governance, among other issues. The organizing groups threaten to lock down the entire country to press home their demands, adding that President Bola Tinubu's Sunday speech was not convincing. President Bola Tinubu says the economic community of West African states will continue to persuade the military leaders of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso to return their nations to the fold. Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, reviewed the outcome of the meeting in a statement. Tinubu's comments come nearly 3 weeks after he hinted at plans for a special extraordinary session to discuss the future of the economic bloc. The executive secretary of the Treasury Education Trust Fund, architect Sonny Echono has stressed the importance of creating visibility for the fund due to its various interventions in tertiary institutions in the country. Echono, who stated this during a courtesy visit by management and staff of Global Television, led by its managing director and chief executive officer, Dr. Ibrahim Biu, said the television station has the capacity to provide the needed visibility for the fund. Eddie Ken Michael has the report.
Receiving the management staff, the Executive Secretary, Architect Sonny Echono, lauded the effort made by Global Television.
I also want to express, on behalf of the government, appreciation for your coverage of our programs, various facets of government's responsibilities, and I want to congratulate you that within 1 year you've been able to extend your network and your coverage and your content in particular.
He made case about the importance of proper dissemination of information to the public and for stakeholders to appreciate the value of the agency in the educational sector.
The general expression is that TETFund is doing a whole lot, but not too many people even know about these until they visit our beneficiary institutions and they see logos all over the campus and so on. So I have a feeling that we needed to do more to present the achievements, the contributions of this administration to the Nigerian people.
The managing director of Global Television, Dr. Ibrahim Biu, while speaking on behalf of management, stressed on the commitment of Global Television to promote the activities and programs of Tertiary Education Trust Fund.
And I'm sure your organization both parties will benefit from the cooperation. We're going to work closely to highlight and educate Nigerians on some of the activities you are carrying on in this country. We will work closely with you to make sure that some of your projects all over the Federation is effectively covered by Global Television.
The strategic partnership aims to harness the power of television broadcasting to drive meaningful on-the-ground solutions that resonate with Tertiary Education Trust Fund. Edikan Michael, Global TV News.
The Federal High Court in Kaduna has dismissed a suit filed by the immediate past governor of the state, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, seeking to set aside the ad hoc committee report of the Kaduna State House of Assembly, among other declaratory reliefs. In a ruling delivered on July 30, 2024, and a copy of the certified true copy, Justice R.M. Aikawa held that the applicant failed to prove any of the circumstances that will warrant setting aside the proceedings of the court. El-Rufai had approached the court seeking an order to set aside the proceedings of July 18, 2024 for lack of jurisdiction and non-compliance with extant laws and rules. Governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, has clarified the nagging issues surrounding some deductions in the salaries of some civil servants in the state. Oti made the declaration at the Government House, Umuahia, night during his monthly media interaction with newsmen. He said that the government had conducted investigations in response to the complaints by some civil servants about deductions in their salaries. Oti said that the investigation revealed that the migration from the use of the 2018-2019 tax rate to the current rate in deducting the taxes from salaries was responsible for the difference. The Kaduna State Security Council has warned that criminal elements masquerading as protesters will not be spared following a review of the current security situation in the state. In a statement, the Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arowon, noted that the council will not tolerate unverified processions due to public safety and security concerns in the state. He stated that the intelligence revealed that criminals are using genuine protests as a cover to unleash terror and loot properties with the aim of plunging the state into chaos and anarchy. The Lagos State Police Command has confirmed the death of a 17-year-old teenager who was electrocuted while working with his stepfather at a building construction site. The State Police Public Relations Officer SP Benjamin Hayudenyi confirmed this in a statement, saying the mother of the boy, whose name was not given, reported the case to the Agbado Police Division. You're watching News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using our Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Express returns, Team Nigeria's men disqualified from Olympics. Do stay with us.
But by your name, you say global. So global is a big coverage. So you are taking a big name, but you are starting from from the scratch. So that big name, by the grace of Almighty Allah, you achieve that. You will appreciate your activities, your reportage, and everything you are doing. Do it with the fear of Almighty God. Step by step, you'll be growing very, very globally. Get your things right and then report rightly. And then inshallah, sky will be your limit.
Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television, bringing you live broadcasts of News Express. Thank you for staying with us. In business, the crude crisis rocking the Dangote oil refinery took a new twist as the refinery engaged in an exchange of words with the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. It was reported that the Dangote Group accused the NUPRC of failing to enforce their domestic crude supply obligations effectively, saying it is easier to get enough crude locally. Reacting, the NUPRC debunked the claim, stating that it facilitated the supply of over 29 million barrels of crude oil to Dangote Refinery from January to June 2024. However, in a swift response, the Dangote Refinery says it did not receive any 29 million barrels of crude. The federal government has inaugurated a $500 million Japanese International Cooperation Agency intervention project to strengthen power transmission infrastructure along the Lagos-Ogun Industrial Corridor. The Special Advisor on Strategic Communication and Media Relations to Minister of Power, Bolaji Tunji, disclosed this in a statement. The JICA project aims to boost power transmission infrastructure within and outside the Ogun industrial corridors covering Agbara, Mowe, and Shagamu industrial clusters. The Osun State Internal Revenue Service says it will begin clamping down on business premises that have failed to fulfill their tax obligations to the government. According to a statement by the Information Officer of the agency, Oluwaseun Ayeni, the chairman of the OIRS, Adeshola Adewumi, joined an awareness campaign held in Oshogbo to demand compliance from business owners, noted that by Monday, the government will seal off defaulting business premises. Adewumi, who was represented at the awareness campaign, gave all tax defaulting businesses in the state another grace to pay their dues before the clampdown will begin. And moving to the foreign scene, authorities say all 61 people on board a plane that crashed in southeastern Brazil have died. as they are investigating the possible causes of its dramatic nosedive into a residential area. Volpars, the airline that operated the flight, reported that 57 passengers and 4 crew members who were on board the plane died. The mayor's office in Vinhedo, a town in the interior of the state of Sao Paulo, where the plane crashed, as well as the state government, also confirmed that there were no survivors. The aircraft, made by the French-Italian manufacturer ATR, was traveling from Cascavel in the state of Paraná, in the country's south, to the international airport of Guarulhos in Sao Paulo. An Israeli airstrike on the school building sheltering displaced Palestinians in Gaza City has killed more than 70 people, the director of a hospital said. Fadi Nahim, head of Al-Ali Hospital, where many of the casualties were taken, says those were victims who had been identified so far, with the remains of many others so badly disfigured that identification was difficult. He said the situation was catastrophic and doctors were unable to treat those seriously wounded. Twin jailbreaks in Bangladesh killed at least 12 inmates and freed hundreds more in a chaotic days after the ouster of autocratic Premier Sheikh Hasina. The interim government is struggling to restore law and order, with police going on strike after Hasina's sudden resignation and flight abroad after 15 years in power. This week's prison escapes, both north in the capital of Dhaka, are the latest in the series of breakouts during weeks of nationwide unrest leading up to her toppling. And running to the exciting world of sport, the quartet of Emmanuel Ojeli, Ezekiel Natalia, Bem Ameni, and Chidi Okeze have been disqualified from the men's 4x400 meters relay at the Paris 2024 Olympics. The men's team had finished second in their semi-final heat with a season's best. However, the referee disqualified Team Nigeria when one of them impeded a South African athlete following a changeover. World record holder Tobi Amusu still has a slim chance of running in the women's 100 meters hurdles final at the Paris 2024 Olympics, but that depends on any of the 8 finalists electing not to run the race due to injury or any reason. Amusu narrowly missed out on the spot in the final after finishing third in the first semi-final with a time of 12.55 seconds. She lost the chance to automatically qualify for the race in the process, and her hopes to qualify as one of the fastest non-automatic qualifiers were dashed after Francis Serena Semba Meyela produced 12.52 seconds to nick the last spot. As we end the Global News Express, let's take a look at our top stories. Federal government floods major cities with policemen ahead of 1 million man march. Tinubu says we will bring back Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso to ECOWAS. In business, federal government raised $500 million power transmission project for Lagos Ogun Industrial Corridor. On the foreign scene, rescuers carry on recovery efforts in Brazil. In sports, Team Nigeria's men disqualified from Olympics 4x400 meters relay team. That's it on News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on DSTV, channel 365, and StarTimes, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momodu. Thank you for watching.